couple months ago, Starfield came out, and it was a game that took the whole world by storm in the sense of people were kind of let down by it. Myself, I was like, all right, it's whatever. It's a game. It wasn't I wouldn't call it a bad game, but it wasn't a good game either. It was just a game. It existed. It had a place. It was out there. Don't get me wrong. There are people who did enjoy it, but for me personally, I was kind of underwhelmed. I think I went about 4 to 6 hours into it, and then I was like, all right, well, the Starfield, all right, it's okay. There's just a lot of things that added up in the game that just made the entire experience just not enjoyable for me, and I personally didn't find it fun. And that actually was an opinion that was shared by a lot of people. Despite all the other controversy that went with the game that we're not even going to talk about, the game and being fun has always been a polarizing topic, because you have one group of people that are like, oh my god, this game is so much fun, how the fuck are y'all not saying it's fun? And then you got the other half that are like, this is a game and it's pretty much a waste of money. You got people who are paying for the collector's edition so they could play it day one before everyone else for a whole week, and then they're like, oh shit, yeah, this game ain't too hot. Yikes. And so then it comes to the discussion of, should Starfield be a runner-up for Game of the Year? And spoiler alert, last I checked, this is not even in the categories for when you choose the Game of the Year. It's not even a nominee. It's not even up there. And so of course you got some people that are upset, and then you got other people that are like, of course, like when you compare it to all the other games, why would it be up there? But the reason I'm talking about this is not because of that, but because recently Bethesda started replying to comments on Steam. Now, for those who do not know, Steam is a platform where you can buy games, and the developers can actually reply to reviews. Most don't ever do it because it's pretty common sense why you don't reply to them. But for some reason, whoever's in charge at Bethesda PR, they gave the thumbs up. They said, hey, you know what? Go reply to some of them comments. They're not good. They're awful. Let's take a look. So at the time of me making this video, there's currently almost 19,000 players. The all-time peak was 330,000. Definitely a huge drop off as time has progressed, but it's a single player game. It's to be expected. The game came back out in September, so of course the number wasn't going to stay high forever. To be honest, 18,000, almost 19,000 isn't too bad, especially when you consider the fact that it's on Game Pass, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people played it there as well too. So not too bad. And so then when you look at the game page, it's currently at mixed reviews for both recent and all-time reviews. All-time 81,000, and then recent reviews 9,130. Definitely not looking too hot, but you know what? Let's see what some of these reviews have to say. Maybe, maybe it's not justified. Maybe the things that people are saying, they're just way out of line. So I won't read all of this review, but I'll read some of it. It says, a game about exploration that delivers the thrill of opening your menu, selecting the fast travel option, clicking the fast travel to a star system, loading, then opening your menu, clicking the fast travel to a planet, loading, then answering the same NPC dialogue at every planet before you're treated to another loading screen to finally land on the planet. An immersive RPG in which every door is in every colony is a loading screen, and firing an infinite stream of bullets around citizens' heads in the middle of the city is apparently just another Tuesday in America for the new Atlantis, as they, completely unbothered by the frag grenades going off all around them, continue to partake in every colonist's favorite activity, walking aimlessly into walls. So pretty much for those who have not played the game, the AI isn't exactly the greatest. They don't really per se react all that much. And then on top of that, the game is pretty much a loading screen simulator. For every single thing that you do, you're greeted with a loading screen over and over and over. It doesn't stop. It just keeps happening. And so for a lot of people who want to be immersed into their games, they feel like it's ruined. They're like, I want to be immersed into these games, but when you keep being hit by loading screens over and over and over, it takes you out of it. You're not really as ingrained into the game as much as you would like to be, because it just keeps you taken out, because you keep waiting for it to load to take you to the next part. To go on your ship, you gotta load. To go from your ship to another place, you gotta load. Then you go to this place, you gotta load. It's very annoying, especially when you consider in 2023 that you could have seamless loading, and I'm pretty sure they could have done it if they really wanted to, but it wasn't a priority for them, and I think it's starting to bite them in the ass. But what did Bethesda say? I mean, clearly they had a good response, right? So Bethesda says, hi there, thank you for taking the time to provide your review, and we are sorry to hear that you were disappointed and with encountering many loading screens while playing. That's part of the game design. That's just how it works. They make that sound like that was like an issue on their part. Like the game was just glitching out, had bugs. Like, oh, oops, hey, we're sorry that you have so many loading screens. That wasn't intentional. Yes, it was. It's part of your game design. While there may be loading screens in between fast traveling, just consider the amount of data for the expansive gameplay that is procedurally generated to load flawlessly in under 3 seconds. Hey, call cap on that. Ain't no shies loading like that for everybody. Not everybody has top of the line NASA computers, all right? We believe that shortcoming will not hinder our players from getting lost in the world we created. Motherfucker literally just made a review on it. Clearly he didn't like it. And clearly a lot of other people didn't like it. And then of course they hit you with this jargon. Starfield is an RPG with hundreds of hours of quests to complete and characters to meet. Most quests will also vary your character skills and decisions, massively changing the outcome of your playthrough. Try creating different characters with backgrounds. It's just a load of bullshit. It's like AI generated shit. They're just reading the store description of the game. That's it. This is just a load of dog shit. It's like, why even bother making this response? You pretty much tell the player that, hey, the way that you're feeling, you're not experiencing the game we want you to play. You need to play it our way. If you don't play it our way, then guess what, dog? Don't play it. Don't leave this review. Why don't you go back and re-figure out how you should be playing? Go watch this tutorial, a walkthrough. That's pretty much how it comes off as. I don't know. It's kind of like out of touch. It's like they're not really getting the point. But at the same time, it's PR responses. So I guess you can't expect them to be like, you know what? You're kind of right there. And, you know, we're actually, I'm going to be honest here. If I'm being straight, complete, 100%, that's what they should say. They should be like, hey, we hear your feedback. We understand that, you know, this is a hindrance to the gameplay, blah, 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 blah. You know, we're going to talk with our developers or whatever PR speak and say that instead of like, hey, you're playing our game wrong. Try again. Because that's all it is. I played for 75 hours because I needed the dopamine fix. Looking back, it's a boring story in a boring world. Also, I cannot get over the one mission I thought would be awesome, finding a ship launched from Earth 200 years earlier with the offspring of the original crew finally finding humanity, and they have the same computers with the same operating system on their ship as the rest of the universe. Why? Which honestly is a valid complaint. I know some people are going to look at that and be like, oh my god, bro, why are you fucking nitpicking? But think about it. If there's a mission that's saying that, hey, this ship is from like XYZ so many years ago, especially 200 plus years ago, why does it have the same exact shit as the stuff from present day? That makes no sense because technology changes. Things move at a rapid pace. There's no shot that they would still be using the same shit. So it just kind of comes off as lazy. So Bethesda replies back saying, hi, we appreciate you taking the time to provide your review and sorry to hear that you did not enjoy your time in Starfield. If you feel that things are getting boring, there is so much more to do than just the main mission. What's to say that he didn't do the side content? What if he did it? He still found it boring. There are many side missions where you can learn more about the people and the story of Starfield. You can take time to explore various planets for resources and items, break the law by smuggling and selling contraband, build your own outfit. It's just another load of bullshit. Like, why make these responses? I don't get it. Like, from a PR standpoint, this doesn't look good. Like, these opinions are not controversial. These are like widely shared opinions that a lot of people typically agree on. And so that's why a lot of people have been talking about it. I'm pretty sure you've seen it on Twitter. You've probably seen it on YouTube now. The reason people are talking about it is just because it makes no sense. It's just a weird look. Normally, when people don't like a game made by a developer, the developer doesn't reply back and be like, hey, you're playing our game wrong. Why don't you go do this? You should be doing this. They're just like, all right, whatever. It's your opinion. We don't like it. You don't like it. We still made it. We still got money. And that's really what it should be for here. It's just like the same shit where Todd Howard's like, man, y'all's PCs are just weak. Our game is for the future. It's next gen. I don't know how the fuck y'all ain't running it. Go upgrade your specs, bro. If you haven't done that yet, then that's on you. When in reality, your game still wasn't optimized all the way. Like, there's no shot that it was. And so to sit there and use the cop out, oh, maybe your PC's just weak. To me, that's a terrible response. And we'll read one more review. This person says, boring, empty, soulless, unpleasant to play. Todd told me I'll be exploring space, not fast travel menus. You don't really explore anything at all. You just teleport from desolate waste to desolate waste. Then your spaceship sets down a 15-minute walk from the copy-paste place of interest you have been fetch quested towards. Every chump space band has 3 health bars, infinite empty planets to aimlessly wander towards. Dungeons and caves don't just have no rewards, they have no enemies. Dead-eyed NPC blather at you a dialogue as wordy as it is boring. Quests range from tedious to nonsensical. Space combat is so disconnected from everything else that it's practically a different game mode. The game's design is so fundamentally flawed that I don't think the modern community will be able to fix it. Every element of the game is disappointing, and on top of that, it's ugly. The only envelope this game pushes is the fidelity of its cluttered objects. The Bethesda magic is gone. So clearly another viewer who's pretty passionate about the game and went through the trouble to try and write something that, you know, has cohesion, it makes sense, and it's just voicing their concern. And to be honest, it's a review that I personally agree with. I think they're 100% on the mark. But let's see what let's see what Bethesda had to say. Greetings. Thank you for taking the time to leave a review for Starfield. We can understand your frustration with fast travel making the universe feel much smaller. I don't think it's really that it makes the universe feel much smaller. It's just that, well, let me just read more of it and then you'll understand. Given the immense size of Starfield, we felt it made more sense to be able to use your grab drive to jump to other solar systems. The option to fly freely among planets is still there. No, it's not. It's not in the way that people were expecting. And you could travel from one planet to another and land without needing to open your map if you used your scanner. However, for expedition like solar system traversal, jumping is necessary. Remember that fast travel also has its perks, as you could do it quickly when trying to complete quests and will be given a visual of your ship launching and landing, thus being able to appreciate all the little details that make your customized ship look unique. Can't make this shit up, dog. To keep Starfield as dynamic as possible, NPCs are not fully scripted, so weirdness can ensure sometimes. The goal is to make believable characters on the screen with realistic reactions to your character. NPC AI has been improved with Move to Creation Engine 2 that has radiant AI enhancements that allow for dynamic interactions within the game's various environments. Okay, dog. And then they finish off with the same copy-paste response. If you feel things are getting boring, why don't you do this? Realistically, these are a load of dog shit answers. I don't know why you would go through the trouble to even reply to any of this. Honestly, their whole entire response is a pile of dog shit. It doesn't really offer any of value. It doesn't say anything. It's just more like, hey, you're playing our game wrong, which again, I still think that's a shitty reaction. That is not how you should be replying to people. I get it that there are circumstances where gamers don't understand what they're doing at all, and then a criticism of the game is not really on the game itself and it's actually on the gamer. But for this game, it's not really on the gamer. It's on the developer. It's just fundamentally, it's not a fun game. There's nothing really that's, makes people want to play it. What people wanted was, instead of having a bajillion fuckloads of solar systems with a bunch of planets that nobody wants to go to, they want to be plopped down in one fucking solar system where they can go in and out of their ship and go fly to all these different planets in one solar system. That's what they wanted. Not this shit where it's like, all right, I'm gonna hop in my ship, I'm gonna use the grab drive, I'm gonna go to a whole nother solar system, I'm gonna go visit this planet, it's gonna be dead, then I'm gonna go visit another planet and another one, then maybe I might find one that has some cool shit. Nobody wanted that. And that's what they're trying to say. But no, of course, Bethesda PR response like, hey, you're just not playing it wrong. Hey, if you're finding this boring, why don't you go do this? Oh, well, we have fast travel for this reason. You can go explore a bunch of planets. What are you talking about? Anyways, I just want to talk about this real quick because I found it very silly. The fact that a company like Bethesda is replying to this shit and this is what their response is. Realistically, all they should have said is, that's your opinion. We appreciate it. We'll take your feedback into consideration in trying to improve upon this game with future updates and, for future games. That's it. That's all they had to say. But instead, no, they make all this shit and then people are now clowning and dunking on them on Twitter and YouTube because these responses are awful. Anyways, you made this far into the video. Consider giving a like, subscribing to the channel. Leave a comment below what you think. Have a great day. Yeah.